Day 2 of the RLCS Winter Major is over, and it continues delivering surprises. Johnny and Stumpy show up out of the blue, all the way from the UK, here to represent EU, and what an entrance. And that wouldn't be the only entrance. KCP had not played on day 1. We finally get the much anticipated Scrub versus Scrub Killer, and in game 1 it looked good for KCP. When Scrub Killer gets the demo, when Dignitas get firing, they go back with a 3-1. And it seemed like a repeat. SSG as well. Game 1 goes to KCP, but then SSG fight back too. Turns out Group B is an incredibly close battle, with Furia taking down NRG yesterday, and then today, taking down Endpoint. That means the South Americans were one series away from confirming a top 6 guaranteed. Of course, it's Rocket League, which means there's always going to be surprises. Renegades fight back in their last match to stay alive, and 3-0 Furia. So they have their chance. Endpoint took down NRG as well, and now tomorrow we're going to have a tiebreaker. Furia versus Endpoint for the top of the group, and Renegades versus NRG to survive. Over in Group A, I was very much looking forward to the Queso and FaZe match, because both struggled on day number 1. But day number 2 brought out so much more. It looked so much more comfortable for these guys, and this ended up being a Game 5 nail-biter, with Queso taking it out in the end to secure number 2 seed. Climax of the day would go to Group C's matchup between BDS, the previous champions, and G2 looking hot to trot from NA to get into the upper bracket for the number 1 seed. And of course, it would go all the way to a Game 5. It would go to a 4-minute overtime, and it would go to G2, who clutched it out at the end of the day. That leaves us with a very NA stacked playoffs bracket, with V1 up against Space Station. One of those two teams is guaranteed top 3, and G2 awaiting the Endpoint versus Furia tiebreaker match to find out the other team going through the upper bracket. Those guys are all going to get a bit of a break. Down in the lower bracket, being played tomorrow, will be Team BDS versus Pioneers, Dignitas versus Evil Geniuses, and Team Queso and FaZe Clan awaiting the 2 tiebreakers in Group B, in particular that NRG versus Renegades match. And just to top it all off, we need a highlight player of the day. And today it's going to be Team Queso's Joyo, who could not stop scoring goal after goal at his first ever LAN.
We'll have some support. The ball gets away from FaZe. Quick counter. First killer doesn't make the backboard read, and Joyo will put it in.
How did he get that second touch? A huge mistouch on the back wall from First Killer, didn't even make it, and Joyo just follows it up. Surely he saw First Killer, but a gift off the back wall for Queso, and they're up 1-0. Queso put on the attack. Here they come again. Joyo's going to beat the last man in AJ. Second touch for Joyo, looming. Top shelf for Joyo. Queso into the lead.
This was sweet. High altitude, bar down. Joyo, you can't do it much better than that.
Other teams probably should be a bit scared of us because we can bump, and OC is brought up from a very fast region of idiots, so they won't know how to play against us.